also happening is, and I had a few different things ready to lined up this weekend that I switched out completely. It seems like the Chinese have basically blown the cover off of how things are made, especially luxury items. So what's happened, there's obviously a trade war going on. We're not going to get very political on this show ever, but there is a trade war happening, and China, as a part of its duty to align with international trade regulations, right?
Mhm.
And make the money that it needs to make, had honored American and European patents.
Okay.
Right? So if you patented something, for better or for worse in China, it would likely get ripped off. But most luxury brands would be okay because China, on the whole, honors most of that stuff. Ever since the Americans sort of launched this, China said, you know what, screw it. Why would we do that? So they're basically opening up, and I don't know if you've seen this on TikTok, the Chinese factory TikTok, where they're coming in and they're saying, okay, you guys, first off, you North Americans have this thing about Chinese products being crap.
Yeah.
Actually, they're not crap. They're spectacular.
Yeah.
And here's how we do a Birkin bag. So that was one of the big ones, because Birkin bags are like 40 grand American, right? So they ship all the products to wherever Birkin bags are made, and then they're assembled. And that's why you can say made in France, made in Italy, made wherever, right?
Yeah.
And so what these factories are doing and going, hey, listen, we make laundry pods, okay? The ones that you buy for this, we can sell them to you for 2 cents a pod. Just contact us. There are people who make those big high-end designer bags. Hey, we make these it's going to cost you $300, $400. The joggers that everybody wears from a particular brand that I am wearing right now.
Look at those sexy legs. I was going to say you like them.
They're selling those for $20 a pop.
Well,
and they're the exact same ones.
And when all of this started to happen, I was like, I think we're going to go because China makes everything. And they are like the factories, the infrastructure, and the just the workforce that they have. Like these things, it takes. I don't want to get super political, like you said, but don't mess with them.
Well, apparently not. And so it's interesting.
That's what I think.
There was a guy who was like selling fishing boats, and he's like, how much do you pay in your country? And he's like, well, here's how they really cost. And by the way, we can ship them to your door. And literally a guy, he was like, they were loading them on shipping containers and they show up at people's doors.
Yeah.
He said, I'm sending 4 to New Zealand today. And so now that's prompted people to do a little bit of investigating. And people have been on this for years. But buying direct from Chinese factories has been a thing that's been growing for a while. The problem is that before, when they were enforcing patent protection, there was authorities that would go into certain websites, AliExpress, DHgate, some of these other places.
Sheen.
Sheen's a little different, I think. But they would go to these places and they would say, hey, listen, I know that your factory or a factory adjacent to you sells this for this brand. You got to stop selling wholesale.
Okay. Right? So it was like, it was more regulated.
You got to stop. Now they're not doing that. So there are entire Reddit threads devoted to here's been my experience on this and this and this and this. And so it's not as high end as like Amazon, right? Amazon, it's like, oh, I ordered this. I can see the tracking number, whatever.
Yeah.
People constantly go, well, it takes 6 weeks. Forget about a tracking number. Good luck getting in touch. But people will say on the whole, 95% of what I'm buying is showing up exactly the way I wanted it to. Now, if you want to do a return, good luck. And there's that 5-10% where it's, obviously you can't return it. There's not, you are going to have some misses. But when you're spending that little, people are like, well, that's an acceptable risk. I'm willing to do that. I'm still not there with it yet, but I did do a little bit of research. Okay. Do you have something?
I was just going to say, this may be the time I've been thinking about buying one of the tiny cars where they ship.
Yes, and they will ship those. The question is, are they road legal in North America?
Listen, okay.
Because you have to get it certified, right?
I don't care. Okay, but they're incredible, and they're very apparently surprisingly well made, and there's a lot of laws around them. Now, a lot of laws here, sure, but listen, give me a thrill. And maybe this is my time to get a little tiny car. Beep, beep, here we come.
So I looked up this Reddit thread, and this is about AliExpress. It says, my success rate on goods delivered is about 95%. In recent years, it's more like 100%. So Number one, they said most of the things you find on Amazon can be found on AliExpress.
Yes.
If you can wait 3 weeks for delivery, it saves you a bunch. So basically, if you can wait on, like, if you want to hurry up delivery, it'll cost you more. But they said never buy from a low orders seller, meaning you need to buy from somebody who's completed at least 100 plus orders.
Okay.
And so it'll say that on the site.
Okay.
They say shy away from brand names. If you want the real thing, buy it from another reseller in the USA. A lot of knockoffs, especially, that's not to say like all their electronics are knockoffs, but some of them are. And so you want to be careful with that sort of thing. But there are resellers in North America that'll do this. Never compromise. They say, never believe that they're going to make a bad situation right, because there's no real accountability. So if something goes bad, it's bad. And there's nothing you can do about it.
You're not going to be able to like contact the seller and like get your money back,
right,
etc. Okay.
And they said, if you're buying clothes, always buy 1 or 2 sizes larger. And it's always really tough to do clothes because, again, European sizing, Chinese sizing, different from North American sizing. Shipping is sporadic. This person says, I placed a large order of items on Christmas and had half of my stuff delivered by January, and the other half took 3 months.
You know what though? Like maybe we need that. Maybe we need a bit of a surprise when it comes to shipping, like, because it's really easy to get something the next day, but maybe it's like a present you don't know when it's coming.
You don't
like,
know. Yeah. 100%.
A surprise.
Yeah. And then they said, don't panic if your tracking goes dark. Many times it happens. And then sometimes things arrive just without any tracking information. And then finally, they said, always use a credit card, because if there is an issue, you can dispute it with the credit card company.
That is true.
So some people recommended PayPal as well. I've never used PayPal, so I don't know. But I just think that's interesting. And then there's obviously DHgate. And again, you're buying at your own risk. But I think with what people are saying is, listen, if I am going to pay that much less, I'm willing to accept that risk.
Yeah.
And my question to you is, are you willing to, like, because if I'm ordering something, I need it to be what it is, right?
You need to have it be real.
Yeah. And I don't like shopping. I think when I look at these forums, these Reddit forums and stuff, people love shopping. They love sussing out who's a good vendor and who isn't, and this and that. And I can never see myself doing this. The prices are crazy, like how low they are. What are you looking at?
Well, I'm just
You're
wondering.
seeing something.
Yeah, and sorry, I'm looking away because you've got me in a little portal now.
Yeah.
Because let's say I have an extra $8,000 to just, if I lose it, I lose it. If I don't, I don't. I would buy a little house. I would.
They are selling a lot of little houses.
I would buy a little house.
Yes.
Look at this.
Yeah.
I could get, this one looks like a spaceship.
Yes. Yeah, they're beautiful.
And that one's going to cost me $7,000.
Yeah. So if you have a piece of land, just plop it on there.
I don't have any land.
But if
I had land, and if I had an extra $7,000, if it comes, it comes. Could you imagine?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if it worked out?
I mean, in a lot of cases, it does, right? Because
My
they
tiny
want
house.
this. Remember, on their side, it makes sense for them to have it work out too. Because then you'll tell 10 of your friends, and they'll all do the same thing.
I know
as well.
a lot of people who have gotten many things from DHgate, and maybe they'll be talking about me being like, I know that Jax got her little house on DHgate, and it worked out.
Yeah, it's neat. Again, buy at your own risk.
You're like,
listen, I feel like the process needs to get better. This is their way of fighting back. I don't think this is going to last forever. Eventually, the trade war will resolve one way or the other. It has to. So the question is so that this is the Chinese fighting back and going, hey, wait a second. We're not going to take this sitting down. Oh, also, did you know that you're spending a fortune on products that really shouldn't cost that much?
A lot of pendant lamps on here.
A lot of pendant lamps. I noticed that too. What's up with that?
Adam has worry eyes where he's like, don't go buy a little house right now. You don't have the extra cash.
Actually, I think the bigger purchases probably are more likely to be successful.
Yeah.
Because again, if you're paying $7,000 for a house, but you have a successful experience, that vendor knows that you're going to direct more people to them. Whereas if you lose $20 on a Lululemon knockoff or something like that, people are going to be like, oh, wow, that's your own fault. They're not going to think about it.
I'm gonna start saving. I'm gonna get us.
Are
a
you
little.
gonna get yourself
I'm
a
gonna
little
get.
house?
No, I'm gonna get us a little house.
It can
And
be
me
our
and you
little
are
house
gonna
studio.
start a new life.
Oh, I like that.
Let's go. Let's go. Gotta get some land. Gotta get a little
It's
house.
something to watch. Honestly, it's all over. I'm surprised you haven't been on Chinese Factory TikTok yet.
I
but
have
it is
a little
the
bit.
biggest thing on TikTok
It
right
is.
now.
I don't know. Like China has the factories, the infrastructure, and the workforce, and the work ethic to like.
It's crazy.
It's happening.